Hey, Tom Gentile here. Welcome to Patterns and Profits. I'm hearing a lot out on the Internet of Things. And one thing I keep hearing is people saying, hey, Tom, what AI stocks are buys right now? Well, the next few minutes, I want to talk about the overall markets. And I will share with you 5 AI stocks. But are they buys? Stay tuned. You want to know the answer to that. If you take a look here just to my right, you will see a chart of the S&P 500. Real quick, that S&P 500 has gone from last year. That was last April. The lows down there below 500, call it 475, all the way up to almost 700. Since then, we've kind of pulled back. I see 650 level, which were the double bottoms we saw back in, call it October and then the beginning of December, as we were coming out of the last quarter of 2025 and into today. After that, if we fall through 650, we've got 38%, 50%, 61% levels, all above and below the 600 area in the S&P 500. All right. Here's oil. Look at that big move that happened last week, and I've never seen a move. I can't remember seeing a move in oil where we opened, at a high 20 percentile than we closed the day before. Absolutely crazy, but it's even been crazy since then as we came out of, I thought this was going to be an exhaustion move, and it looked like it the following day, but here we are a couple of days later. We bounced back up very close to those highs, and then coming into today, seeing a little bit of a drawback. I want to see oil close below 114 and test below 114. And if that's the case, then we may see the oil markets start to give a little bit back. We have 38, 50, and 61% retracements between 90 and about 104 when you see those support levels that could kick in. Next is gold. Gold's interesting because after the highs that happened at the beginning of February, the end of January, beginning of February, we've seen the highs get lower and we've seen the lows get higher, forming an asymmetric triangle right around 475. Typically, when you get this much coiled up, pent up demand, we're going to get a breakout one way or another. Which way is it likely to go? I'm going to share that with you here in just a moment. But finally, I haven't talked about Bitcoin in a while. This is IBIT. All right, this is the iShares Bitcoin ETF, and IBIT has had in 2025, we were actually as high as about 70. We were just above 70. That was during the all-time high of Bitcoin, but we dropped below that. I snapped an Andrews pitchfork, which goes from high to low to high to give me an idea where the next low is likely to be. And that next low actually kicked in sometime in February when we hit the 63,000 mark in Bitcoin. We almost hit it again here a couple weeks ago, but since then we've been kind of on a move back up. The area of resistance that I'm looking at on IBIT is somewhere near 50. That would equate to about 87,000 in Bitcoin. Imagine if we get there, and it's not going to be a straight line, but if we get there, folks, then we're talking about potentially crypto winter being over and maybe being over a couple of months early. We will see. All right, let's talk about AI stocks. The top 5 by market capitalization go like this: NVIDIA, Taiwan Semiconductor, Broadcom, AMD, and Micron Technology. Now, take a look at these. I'm going to just spell them out with you real quick here. What do? Chips, 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 memory chips. That's what the big guys all have in common. They're manufacturing chips for artificial intelligence. I want to take a look at each chart very quickly. Let's scan them, see if we see any buying opportunities. NVIDIA has been stuck in a price range since last quarter of the year, and we're stuck somewhere in between 175 and 200, and that area just seems to be continuing to get narrow. My money calendar has no patterns. Actually, the pattern we do have, there is a pattern, but it's an 80% pattern, not the 90 I look for, and it's been declining a lot since we started this pattern in the last 10 years. The pattern seems to be disappearing. So NVIDIA, no, I don't think so. How about Taiwan Semi? Taiwan Semi, definitely a bullish trade. You see the April lows down here at 150. The highs tapped up close to 400 before pulling back. We're nowhere near any Fibonacci retracement levels. But while that's bullish, I don't have any seasonality telling me that I'm not yet ready to get into it as well. But if you're not a seasonal trader, you got to take a look at this one. This one looks pretty good. Broadcom. Broadcom had lows of 150, highs above 400. Since then, we've hit that 38% retracement level twice now. It looks like we might be coming down to it again. The support level we see at the 50% is around $270. Resistance is going to be back up here above 400. But again, I have no seasonal buying patterns. So me as a seasonal trader, I'm passing on Broadcom. AMD, same situation here. You got lows down here near 75. You get the highs of just below 275. We double topped in 2025 and 2026, but we've also 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, we've been hitting this bottom now since late last year. That just around 200, just prior to 200. You've got, that's also the 38% retracement level. 50 is at 175, 61.8 is at 150. But here's the thing. Even if you're looking for a bounce off of the fib level, if you're a seasonal trader, nothing we can do except wait for seasonal patterns to come to us. And that leaves Micron Tech, MU. It is the clear winner of AI. I don't even need to put a Fibonacci chart on it because it's hitting new all-time highs as we speak, right? Definitely a momentum trade. If you're a momentum trader, you got to be looking at MU. But if you're a seasonal trader, same situation is here, is that we have no money counter seasonal buying opportunities at this time either. So to summarize, I think the markets are on cue for a big move to the upside here. And the sweet spot is at the end of March, but we're talking about mid-March now to mid-April. We should start to see that happen. I think that we'll just need to see a de-escalation of news coming out of the Middle East. And if the price of oil drops, that's going to be good for the stock market. That's going to be good for the markets as a whole. And while overall markets should move higher, some AI stocks, well, they look to be more saturated than others. Hope you enjoyed the video. Like, subscribe, share. I'll see you on the next one. Bye now.